I'm just going to warn you right now, this review might be the most inconsistent review I've ever done. Chase Liaki here with the Blue Futon reviewing Saltburn. What is this movie about? We're following this loner at Oxford University in 2006, and he is invited into this family at Saltburn where parties happening, the rich people is happening, shenanigans is happening, sexualization is happening, and just rich people is happening. And this guy, Barry Keoghan's character, is a narcissistic psychopath who doesn't really have a motive except wants to hurt people for the greater good of himself. And did I like this film? I don't know. Maybe I should run a mile because I'm about to go run a couple miles after this review is done. Maybe I should just clear my head a little bit before getting this review out, but I think I need to tell it as is what's in my mind. Well, let's talk about the craft because, like I said, this is going to be very inconsistent. I'm not going to go with positive or negative. I'm just going to talk about this movie. The way it's filmed, you're either going to like it or not, that it's like the 4:3 frame format, so it's not the widescreen, so you're going to like that or not. I do think the technical aspects of the cinematography, the costumes, the makeup, the overall cinematography, the production design, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this weird, picturesque thing that's occurring in this big-ass Saltburn house. Do I know why it's called Saltburn? No, not really. But I enjoyed seeing what things were happening, which is fine. I think the acting is really good by Barry Keoghan because they ask him to do some fucked up shit that I don't know if I could do. Personally, there's something to do with spit, a gravesite, and other spots where I'm like, in the very end, nude dance sequence. I don't know if I could do it because I don't know if that's a fake penis or not. But yeah, I just, no, I don't know if I could do it. I just don't know if I could do it. But okay. Like I said, technical, below-the-line categories, I understand. I understand that Barry Keoghan, even though he's not getting Oscar talks, I think this is a tour de force performance by him. Like I said, it's a fantastic performance by him. Way better than Banshees of Inisherin, in my opinion. He is fantastic in this film. So I would honestly put him above Leonardo DiCaprio in that aspect. All right, so we got that part out of the way, what I like in the technical aspect. The problem is the story, the reasoning, and the motives behind this movie. You don't really understand, except like you heard me in my 15-second review, just because. It feels like things are happening in this movie just because Barry Keoghan character wants it to happen. There is no, the reasoning you think it is happening is just because he's a narcissist. He's a psychopath. He wants to infiltrate this family and make it just fucked up. The best comparison, honestly, even though it's not a horror movie, is Funny Games. If you ever watched either, I think it's the Dutch version or the Americanized version, it feels the same way where this is a torture movie. Even though you're like, this is not like a Saw or anything like that, no, but this is a torture movie for this guy just wanting to torture a soul that even though you might not like the people, they don't deserve to be tortured. Like, does this main character, even though he's this good-looking dude, everyone likes him, he gets all the girls, does he deserve the ending that happens? Does his sister deserve the ending? Does his mother? Does his father? Does this person that they adopted into this family deserve it? No, you might say that they're privileged and they're just bad people. No, they're not. Because this talks, I would say it's a class system where high upper class, and even not even poverty. It's like middle class. It's more of like, you have a good life, but you're not fulfilled just because. And that's the weird thing. I don't get motive behind the character, and maybe some people might not care for that. This guy's motive, I couldn't tell you because it really doesn't say. You have to guess why he's doing all this fucked up shit. The weird things in this movie that I just could not get behind was the weird sexualizations. Especially there's a scene where I just don't know this main guy's character or his gravitas. Like, there are some shows like there, even though I didn't like that Evan Peters one, not Ted Bundy, but you know what I'm talking about? You kind of get his past of why he's doing all this shit he's doing. Like, what did occur? Here, this guy just grew up in a good home, but he's just doing this weird sexualized stuff. Like okay, there's this vampire scene that was so fucked up. There's a vampire scene that's so fucked up. There's a scene where, what I was talking about, where he gets on a dude. Okay, fine. And then there's a graveyard scene, which you're like, what the fuck? Because I knew it was going to go somewhere, which I was like, please don't go that far, and it goes that far. And then also something happens with the tube with Rosamund Pike. And then the very end scene. It's just a cluster of sexualized shit that I just can't fathom this person doing. There is no rhyme or reason for this person to do it. Yes, to get ahead of this family, but I just don't believe someone could snap and just do that extreme shit over and over and over and over and over again. It just, maybe, I want to call me closed-minded. I'm open-minded. I've watched so many fucking movies, but this one, like, I can see some character arcs be like, okay, you are slowly getting to that level of fuckery and fuckboyness. Here, I don't see it. I just see a guy infiltrating this family and turning up to 0 to 1,000% without warning. Like I said, maybe some people are hardwired that way, where they don't need that reason, that motive. They're just there to fuck shit up and fuck people up, that they just find joy in that. And that could be it. I think Barry Keoghan does a fantastic job with that. Overall, though, I don't know if I could recommend Saltburn. I know some people are saying Rosamund Pike. Nah, to me, it's Barry Keoghan, even though I'm saying his last name wrong, that shines. He is the one, if I had to choose one person to get the Oscar nom, it is him. Do I see it happening? No, I don't see anything above the line for this movie whatsoever. It is very hard for me to give you a score for this movie because I was intrigued throughout the whole time, but I was also uncomfortable and didn't want to watch half this shit happening. Yes, I'm fine with watching some other sexual stuff, but I don't want to watch Barry Keoghan fuck a gravesite. I don't want to see him dance naked. I don't want to see him spit on the hand. I don't want to see him be a vampire because it's not someone's. I don't know. This, like I said, this is a very incohesive movie review. I don't know. It's hard for me to give you a score. Like, I could say 10 out of 10 for originality, but my enjoyment level was not at that level at any fucking time of the movie. But can I give it a recommendation? Probably not. So Saltburn will receive a 2.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 50%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. I have critics a 71% with 167 of them. No audience score critic consensus. Emerald Fennell's candy-coated and incisive Saltburn is a debauched jolt to the senses that will be invigorating for most. 7150. Chase Clock here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things Butontopia. You Buton, have a great day. I don't care about your state tomorrow, week from now, month from here. I love every single freaking one of you. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm baffled. Speechless. Probably not in a good way.